Ladies and gentlemen, we're expecting some moderate turbulence.
Please remain seated and enjoy the show. Hello.
And welcome to
Moderate Turbulence.
I'm Jeremy.
I'm Adele.
What are you doing there?
There's hair on the mic.
Is it Roxy's hair?
Probably.
Roxy, say hi. Okay, she's interested in something else. And of course, Roxy. How are you, Adele?
I'm getting over a cold. You gave it to me last week. You had it last week, gave it to me this week.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, yeah, we've both been sick over the last couple of weeks. I know it's been a few weeks since we've had a podcast. We've had all these plans for what we're going to do and what we're going to talk about. And then, of course, I got sick. And then the following week, you got sick. And then we spent 2 weekends away from Vancouver because we were at a wedding in Niagara. Congratulations, Natalie and Jordan. And then we were at a wedding in Montreal. Congratulations, Katie and Randy.
Yeah, so we've been go, and with lots of lack of sleep, lots of traveling, all of that caught up to us. And I still feel like I sound a bit sick. So I apologize for those who have to listen to my voice like this. We figured we have to record because, I think it's been 3 weeks since we've published. But I mean, at some point, I pretty much lost my voice and we've had no energy. You know, it's not COVID. I mean, it's
we
the
both
regular
tested. Yeah, it's not COVID.
Stuff that's going around. You know, the seasonal cold seems to be sore throat, feverish symptoms, lack of energy, some congestion here and there. So that's what we're dealing with.
It looked like it was going through not just you and me, but several of the other instructors were feeling it as well, right?
Well, yeah. And then everybody who's in our lives say that they've been sick, they have these symptoms. So it's what's going around. We got it, unfortunately. And then we've been going to work. We took a couple days each off just to, try to get better. But it's a lingering one, this one. So we're still on cough medicine, decongestants, and all of that to try to really get rid of it. But has to run its course.
Yeah. And we're still in training. We're still teaching this current phase of initial training. A few participants in my class found the podcast. Not everybody yet, but a few have. So you know who you are. Hello. Anything from your class?
Nope. Oopsies.
Nope. Nothing to add. And I actually just had lunch with some participants from a previous phase, and a few of them are thinking, well, they've started a podcast of their own. They haven't actually released any episodes yet, but so far what I know is it's going to be called Remain Seated, and it's going to be aviation themed as well. Hopefully they'll touch on some of their first experiences as being brand new flight attendants.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. So look out for that. I'm not sure where it's going to be hosted, but that'll be fun. Maybe we'll do some collabs with them. So what was the topic you wanted to talk about today?
So we're now it's a bit old news, but it is what it is. We wanted to talk about the kind of story that went around with people taking pictures of flight attendants, and also flight attendants, taking pictures of their day-to-day lives as flight attendants, taking selfies and taking pictures while, there's delays happening, or while the crew changes up, or the aircraft's being serviced, or maintenance is on board, or things like that, right? So routine things happening, and flight attendants take pictures. Everybody takes pictures. It's the thing that everybody does now. Everybody has a camera on their phone, so it's very easy to document a lot of our day-to-day lives. But there was a story that came out. So there was a TikTok that one person at an airport was in the airport terminal. I don't know where this person was, but she was filming herself in the terminal and then panned out the camera to show some crew members outside on the tarmac taking pictures. And she claimed in her video that her flight was delayed due to the crew members taking selfies. So that is just really upsetting on the part of the person filming that, because first of all, they just did that for views.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, yeah,
there's no other reason.
cause a little controversy to get views. Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think there's been a flight ever to be delayed because people are taking selfies.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not how it goes. There's just so many aspects of aviation. There's a lot of people. We've talked about it, you know, how many people does it take to get a plane in the air. It's not just those couple crew members that decide when boarding starts. There's a lot of things happening. So trust me, if people were taking pictures and delaying boarding, a lot of other people from other departments would be on those people, getting them back in the plane, back to working, and back to ready to welcome people on board. So there's just a lot of accountability that needs to happen here, and it's just filming people and doing, you know, enjoying a part of their job that, you know, flight attendants are affected by delays as well. You know, we're not happy when things are delayed. That means that we don't get to go on our layovers as soon as we wanted, or we don't get to go home as soon as we wanted.
So I have a few questions. I never actually saw the video. So just out of curiosity, was it our airline that the video was? Okay. And when you say it was crew members taking pictures, were these like in flight? Was it like flight attendants, or was it like ground crew, or?
Well, it was flight attendants and I think a pilot as well.
Okay.
So they were all on the tarmac. They were wearing the vests, so they were being safe.
Okay.
But clearly the flight was delayed, and they took the opportunity to take a few pictures.
Okay.
Because, you know, the flight was delayed, clearly not because of them, but because of some other unknown reason. But the TikToker who posted that video blamed it on the flight attendants, and then it just became a story from there, you know. And it's like, obviously it looks bad when this person posts this video, and it's like that person is saying that, and there's
with no other knowledge, with no other like follow up, like what's causing the delay, just saying, oh look, they're taking pictures, that must be why the flight's delayed. Obviously you're doing that for views, like you said, but whenever there's a delay, there's an investigation as to why. It sounds crazy, but it's true. They want to find out what caused the delay. Was it caused by the flight attendants who weren't ready on time? Did they arrive at the gate late? Did they arrive from a previous flight late so that they couldn't get to the plane on time to get their checks done before starting? Was it from pilots who you had an aircraft change, so they had to fly pilots in from another city, and now that's caused the delay because the pilots have to arrive? Like, there's so many different reasons. Was it a mechanical delay? Were the mechanics working on something on the plane and said, we can't board yet until this gets resolved? And in the meantime, the crew went onto the tarmac to take a picture. It's almost, it's one of those things where flight attendants, we almost call it a rite of passage to get your engine pick. That's when you get a picture of you in an aircraft engine. I don't know a flight attendant who's been flying for over a year that does not have an engine pick. Do you have an engine pick?
Yeah.
Well, there had to be a time when you could get that done when it didn't cause a delay. So you're not saying to everybody, hey, guess what? We're just going to go do an engine pick. You guys hold on. We'll board when we're ready. It doesn't work like that. So if this crew is out on the tarmac for whatever reason, they have a right to be there. They're not causing the delay. And the fact that someone's posting this and saying, oh, guess what? We're delayed again because of this. I mean, it's completely ignorant and makes the airline industry look bad so that you can get a couple extra views.
Yeah, so it's just infuriating, and it comes with the whole everybody's filming everybody these days, especially on planes. I don't know. I mean, my algorithm on social media brings me a lot of aviation stuff. But my timeline on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok is flooded with a lot of people filming things on airplanes. So whether it's, sometimes it's good stuff. So, people celebrating anniversaries or going on their honeymoons or things like that. So they're showing some good things. But then there's a lot of, unruly passenger videos, or this flight attendant did this on my flight, so I'm going to film them, or all these things. Or like, even, some people think it's innocent. Oh, I had an attractive pilot or an attractive flight attendant, so they're filming them to show like the world, oh, look, I had an attractive crew member on my flight. Yeah, it's just, I feel like aviation and like flight attendants and all of that, it's been over glorified and over glamorized for a really long time. And people think they have the right to film us, and they have the right to just take out their phones and take pictures and take videos of us at work.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I feel like no other job is like that. We don't go into someone's office and start filming them as they're in their cubicle doing their whatever they're doing,
Yeah, the only other industry that comes to mind where people film them constantly would be police officers, right? They get filmed constantly, to make sure that officers are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and people do it to protect them from whatnot. And I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube where, interactions were being filmed to make sure everything is done correctly. We don't have that power on an airplane. Like, we're not police officers on the plane. I know sometimes we have to try to police the plane, but that's a whole other story. But yeah, I think it's part of the, like you said, it's over glamorized our industry. And like, I guess it is sold like being a flight attendant is kind of a glamorous job, but I don't know. It's just kind of creepy that people want to take pictures of us. Well, not really me, but take pictures of us and post them. And I don't know. It's just weird. Social media is weird like that, I guess.
Well, yeah. And it's just like, oh, every flight, are you going to end up on someone's TikTok or Instagram reel or whatever? Mm-hmm. So it's just, it's icky.
Icky is a good word, yeah.
Lack of a better word, it's icky. And it's just like, and honestly, you know what? They're not allowed to. Because at least with airlines in Canada, when people book their tickets and people, agree to fly on a certain airline, there's that fine print. And in that fine print, which no one ever reads, but if they did, they would know that it's not permitted to film or take pictures of crew members on board the flight without their permission. Yeah. So all of these videos that are being taken are essentially taken illegally, because I'm pretty sure I know no flight attendant who would agree to passengers randomly filming them or taking pictures of them while they're working.
Yeah. Now, of course, there's like exceptions to the rules or where permission has been granted. I know we used to have the Amazing Race Canada actually come in and board our flights, and, they're filming the boarding process. They're filming on the flights. And they have permission to do that. So they've gained permission from the company. There's also been other things, bloggers, travel bloggers who get special permission to film on the aircraft. And that's okay as long as they've gone through the right paths to get permission to do it. But for someone to randomly sneakily grab their phone and start filming me because I'm the person in the aisle that's doing the safety demonstration, that's creepy. That's creepy and weird.
Yeah. The only time that I would be okay with someone taking out their phone to take a picture or video is if something bad was happening in the way that, an unruly passenger was getting aggressive, saying threatening things or doing aggressive things, like starting to be violent. I would be okay with someone documenting that as like witness, as proof of the incident. Yeah. So like there's good and bad things to people having access to these filming photography devices at the tip of their fingers all the time. But overall, just what you see on social media, right? not always real, not always true. People are like making up these scenarios to get views, to, you know, start controversy where there really isn't.
Yeah.
So if you see a flight attendant taking a picture on the tarmac, or the crew members just taking quick pictures in the airport or whatever, just know it's because they have time.
They can at that point, yes.
Like, they're not delaying your flight to take pictures. I promise you.
Yeah.
So many other people would let them know that they don't have time and that it's time to board the flight.
Yep.
So just, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Of course, you know, you're always to be courteous and polite to your crew members. And if you're nice to them, we're going to be nice to you.
Yep.
So that's just how it goes, you know?
Yeah. So what you're saying is, don't believe everything on the internet.
No, Roxy.
Hi, Roxy.
Anything else to add to this?
No, it's just it's been a busy couple weeks. Roxy almost fell. Roxy's been she's a very well-traveled pom, and that's actually going to be part of our next episode. It's what it's like traveling with a pet in cabin. So we're going to talk about how we take Roxy on flights, because over the last couple of weeks she's been to Calgary, Montreal, Vancouver, of course, several times. Yeah, she's well-traveled, right, Roxy?
Yeah, and we're actually going to record/film the next episode in a few moments. So if you're watching on YouTube and you see the exact same outfit, same setup that we have now, it's because, you know what, we're finally feeling better. So we're going to just do that.
Give a couple back-to-back right
in
here.
A few minutes. So you get at least a couple weeks of content coming up. And yeah, so I think this wraps up this episode. A short but sweet one, but at least, you know, it eases us back in. And always remember to be nice to your flight attendants,
because they might have to save your butt one day.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. You gonna bark?
Bye-bye.
Bye. Good girl.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate and review wherever you listen to podcasts. We have new episodes every Wednesday. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Moderate Turbulence on Instagram, at Mod Turbulence on Twitter, and follow us individually on Instagram at HuffyJ and at La Delvie. Thank you.